Yeah, I come from an industry which, when I was in school, I never thought I would be a part of. But since those days, I started working in this industry since I was in school. And I've learned. I used to be a film editor for over 12 years. I used to do edits. If anybody of you, like you all are like millennials for me right now. But if you've heard of this show called CID, I started my career with that show as an editor. And it's been years, then a producer, then a director, then a photographer. Everything came my way, but everything comes from the same industry. It's all creative. So right now I'm known more as a photographer and a director. And yeah, I would want to put my words out is because, there is a whole big world outside once you leave this school, and this school days are going to be your best memories, trust me. I have no other great memories than the school days that I was a part of with all my friends and my teachers and my principal. And I've learned a lot from that, and that I think that's the only thing that keeps me going even today, like all the confidence I got from school. And I'm happy to be here. And this industry is a vast industry. There are many, I don't know too many friends from my school days who are a part of this industry, but then there are a few who came through and they're doing great.
How was your initial years? Can you share the experiences?
I do not come from the film industry family. That's the first thing. I'm a boy who lived in Haisar, who went to St. Mary's High School. He had no connection to the film industry. So I started everything by, the moment I left school, I started working. And that's how I stepped into this industry. Like I said before, that my first job on a commercial set was of a tea boy. I was giving tea to every single actor and every single person out there. And I had this curiosity of learning. So I used to ask questions on set of what is this camera, how it works, what do they do, what is action, what is cut, what does the editor do. So a very well-known Marathi director, he spotted this craziness of me on set of asking so many questions. And he made me sit on the edit table, and that's how my learning journey started. I never did any course for anything. I never did any course for photography or for filmmaking. I always assisted people on set, and I think I learned better because when you assist someone on set who is already experienced, who is already working from years, you learn better of what really works on the job, on the field. I started learning through people who were my seniors. I learned from them. I grew. I became a producer, I became a director, I became a photographer, and today I have my own production. So it took me 22 years because I don't have any godfather from the industry. So it took me 22 years to have my own thing, have my own production. I moved to Thailand. I worked there as a producer for 3 years, came back only because of COVID. So basically you learn everything on set, even though you do a course, even though right now you're in school, you're learning everything that you can learn from your teachers and all. But when you come to the real world out, it's where you apply everything because you know the basics. You are very clear. So that's how it works in every industry. That's how I learned.
So creativity is a very desirable quality for the career after education. But sir, the Indian education system almost gives less to no freedom to think creatively and basically making the youth of India nothing more than degree zombies. So what would be your take if the policymakers approached you for your valuable input?
Creativity is a part of every single kid, every single student. I only learned it when I took a paper in my hand when I was in school and I started drawing something on it. That's how I learned that, okay, even I am creative. Everyone is creative in some way or the other. But the thing is, there used to be a time when every single parent or every single, the whole concentration of Indian education was on churning out engineers, doctors and stuff like that. That was very prominent before. But I think things have changed over the time, over the years. I think it's now more open. Even the parents are more open for their kids to choose what they want to do. It's not like I don't think it's like before where there was a lot of pressure on the kids. I don't know, you kids know it better, but I hope your parents are quite supportive to what you want to do and to give you that freedom of choosing of what you want to do with your life in the future. If you want to be a part of the creative world, or if you want to be a part of hospitality, or there is a lot to do. So the thing is, now you have a very broad, this thing of choosing what you want to do in your future. I think things have changed drastically than the time when I was in school. A lot has changed, and I think if you are in that space of this creative side, you can always choose to be a part of that.
Which film was your first one?
There was this film called Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na. It was with Amir Khan's nephew and Genelia D'Souza. That was my first film work as a line producer.
Generally during photo editing, what all editing softwares are widely taken into use, and what of photo editing software do you recommend us to use while editing all the photos?
About photo editing, mostly and very widely, Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop is the software that is used by most of the photographers to edit, and Adobe Lightroom. These are two softwares that are used for photo color correction and photo editing. For phones, a lot of edits are being done on the phones also now. So Lightroom for the phone, for Android or for iPhone, Lightroom can be used, and there's this one more software called Snapseed that is used a lot on phone.
How can I become like you?
When you study, you sit with your book, you try to learn, you try to understand, and then you go and give your exams and you pass. Whatever you do is always through experience. When you learn things, when you grow by learning. So all these things that will happen. I was never a perfect photographer. I'm still not. I always learn whenever I'm shooting. When I have a camera in my hand, when I have a person standing in front of the camera who's an actor or a model or whosoever it is, when I shoot a picture, I always try to learn what I can do differently, how I can use the light differently. So it's always going to be practice and nothing else that can keep you growing. You have to keep learning.
When you decided to become a director or photographer, is this thinking was from when you were at school?
See, it started when I became an editor. Like I said, to become a filmmaker, to become a director, or to become a cinematographer, if you are an editor, you sit in front of a computer with every shot that has been shot while they shoot on the location. And then you sit there and then you learn how they do everything, how they frame it, how the script is made, how the dialogues are delivered. So as an editor, when I was a kid, I was 15 years or 16 years old when I was editing, when I was sitting there to the edit studios. Is when I saw this, and that is when I understood that if I keep learning this for the coming future, I would definitely want to go on set and do this on my own and direct something that I can, I can show the story that's written down in the papers in my way, in my vision. So I understood back then that I want to do this.